For many years, Ellen DeGeneres was more than a television host. She was a comforting presence in millions of homes. Her laughter had a way of filling spaces with lightness, and her humor offered a gentle respite from everyday stress. Each show closed with a reminder to be kind, not just as a slogan, but as a practice. In an era where mornings could feel monotonous or tense, Ellen's voice became a ritual, a familiar anchor that invited viewers to start their day with a smile. Her connection with audiences went beyond entertainment. It felt personal, as if someone genuinely cared about the well-being of strangers, turning ordinary mornings into shared moments of joy. A shift in public perception. Even the brightest public figures experience change, and Ellen's journey reflects that reality. Over time, the perception of her persona evolved, not because of scandal, but because the world began looking more closely at the person behind the laughter. People started sharing experiences and anecdotes online, each a small window into a different side of her life. This shift was not a simple judgment. It was part of the natural human tendency to explore complexity and reconcile the contrast between a person's public persona and private moments. It reminded everyone that public figures, despite their warmth and humor, are human beings with layers that can be both inspiring and challenging. The weight of visibility. In the digital age, the audience for any public figure is vast and instantaneous. Clips, interviews, and stories can be reinterpreted through a lens of scrutiny rather than admiration. Ellen's presence, once met with unfiltered applause, became part of a broader conversation about accountability and reflection. Public opinion moved quickly, and what had once been seen as playful or lighthearted was now examined more deeply. In this environment, she navigated an unfamiliar tension, the balance between the person she is and the image she projects. This period highlighted the reality that being visible comes with both influence and responsibility, a challenge that millions of people around the world experience in different ways every day. Fostering a positive workplace. Behind the scenes, Ellen's team and workplace evolved alongside her career. As the demands of her show grew, so did the complexity of managing people and processes. She acknowledged the importance of creating an environment that aligned with her values of kindness, generosity, and respect. Through adjustments and open communication, efforts were made to foster a positive, supportive atmosphere for staff and collaborators. The journey of reflection and improvement became part of her larger story, reminding us that even in positions of leadership, growth and learning are continuous processes that require humility and openness to change. Returning to the spotlight. When Ellen returned to the stage after periods of reflection, the experience felt different both for her and for audiences. The laughter and energy remained, but it was tempered by maturity and perspective. Supporters celebrated her history of positivity, while all observers witnessed a more nuanced form of engagement with the world. Ratings and viewership reflected the evolving landscape of daytime television, but more importantly, the work itself reflected growth. Ellen's approach showed that performance is not merely about entertainment. It is about connection, empathy, and the recognition that human experiences are complex, layered, and evolving. Choosing a new chapter. After nearly 2 decades of hosting, Ellen announced the conclusion of her show. She explained that it was a creative decision, a choice to explore new avenues and to allow herself space for growth. The final episode combined celebration and reflection, gratitude and nostalgia. It was a moment for both Ellen and her audience to acknowledge the journey shared, the laughter, the stories, and the memories. In stepping away, she modeled an important lesson. Endings are not failures. They are opportunities for transformation, for rediscovery, and for stepping into life with intention and authenticity. Legacy beyond television. Ellen's influence extends far beyond ratings or awards. She reshaped daytime television into a space where everyday kindness, empathy, and human connection mattered. She highlighted voices that were often overlooked, normalized conversations about identity, and created a platform where humor and heart coexisted. Her legacy is complex, not because of scandal, but because life itself is complex. It reminds us that the impact of a person is measured not solely by perfection, but by the courage to embrace humanity, both in ourselves and in others. Childhood and early life. Born in Louisiana in 1958, Ellen's early years were shaped by change and challenge. Growing up in a modest household, she experienced moments that left lasting impressions on her understanding of resilience and trust. Humor became a refuge and a tool for connection, a way to navigate difficult moments with grace and perspective. These formative experiences laid the foundation for her later career, teaching her that joy could be created even in the midst of uncertainty, and that laughter could be a bridge between individuals. Finding her voice. Through comedy, Ellen's journey into adulthood was marked by exploration and determination. She worked a variety of jobs while discovering the power of comedy as a means of expression and connection. The stage became both a classroom and a sanctuary, where rejection honed her instincts and perseverance strengthened her resolve. Through observational humor and authenticity, she learned to turn personal experiences into relatable stories that resonated widely. Her early career reflected a universal truth. Mastery and confidence often come through persistent effort, resilience, and the willingness to face vulnerability head-on. Breaking barriers. Ellen's career took a historic turn when she gained national recognition on television and later publicly shared her truth about her identity. Her openness was courageous and transformative, challenging societal norms and inviting audiences to reconsider their assumptions. The decision to live authentically came with challenges, but it also became a symbol of possibility for others seeking to embrace their own truth. Ellen's journey illustrates that authenticity requires bravery, and that the act of being oneself can inspire broader cultural understanding and empathy. Reinvention and growth. Rather than being defined solely by early challenges, Ellen used each experience as an opportunity for reinvention. Her daytime talk show provided a platform to blend humor, kindness, and relatability in ways that resonated deeply with audiences. Over time, she refined her craft, balancing entertainment with empathy and creating a space where laughter was a shared experience rather than a performance. Through this period, she demonstrated that resilience is not about avoiding difficulty, but about transforming it into a source of connection, insight, and growth. Love and partnership. Ellen's personal life has been a story of patience, trust, and quiet triumph. Her relationships unfolded in the public eye, yet she sought to nurture love that was genuine and grounded in shared values. The stability and support she found became a source of strength, offering a reminder that happiness often grows in spaces of trust and mutual respect. Her journey illustrates that personal fulfillment is not always measured in public accolades, but in the quality of relationships, the depth of understanding, and the commitment to living authentically. Health and reflection. As time passed, Ellen faced new challenges that required her to slow down and prioritize well-being. Physical health, aging, and the need for balance became important guides in how she approached life and work. These experiences brought humility, teaching her that strength is not limitless, and that self-care is a form of respect and love. She found grounding in quiet routines, nature, and reflection, discovering that stillness could offer as much fulfillment as energy and activity once had. Stepping back. In recent years, Ellen has chosen to step away from constant visibility, embracing privacy, reflection, and self-directed purpose. Her appearances now carry intentionality rather than expectation, insight rather than spectacle. Humor remains, but it is gentler, informed by experience and empathy. In reclaiming her time and energy, she has shown that it is possible to evolve beyond the roles society assigns, to prioritize authenticity over approval, and to redefine success in deeply personal terms. A life beyond applause. Ellen DeGeneres' story is a reminder that a meaningful life cannot be reduced to a single narrative. It encompasses joy and challenge, influence and learning, laughter and reflection. Her impact on entertainment, culture, and everyday kindness continues to resonate because it is rooted in authenticity and humanity. By choosing to step back, she modeled an essential lesson. Life's worth is not measured solely by public recognition, but by the capacity to grow, to connect, and to live with intention, grace, and compassion. Lasting impact. What remains is not just a career, but a life lived openly, with curiosity, courage, and care. Ellen's legacy challenges us to hold multiple truths at once, to recognize the power of influence alongside the reality of imperfection, to celebrate generosity while acknowledging growth, and to practice kindness as a continuous choice rather than a slogan. Her journey encourages reflection on how we understand public figures and ourselves, highlighting the enduring value of empathy, authenticity, and the simple yet profound act of being human.